All right. So now we're live on our YouTube. I'm really excited about tonight. All store picks we've got lined up for you. Kind of the idea for this flight, because this wasn't on our original schedule, obviously is allocated and limited edition bourbons get harder and harder to get. This wasn't on our original schedule. Stand by. Obviously. Okay. Because they're getting harder and harder to get. Store picks, it's the old thing. The store picks are the new limited edition. We've had a couple of good store picks or a couple of good group picks ourselves. I think our last two have been pretty darn good. So I wanted to line up a whole flight worth of store picks. Some of these might be picks of brands you're familiar with. Some might be brands you're not familiar with. But really the idea is, are you wowed by these? Are these that much different than any shelf regular bourbon that you can go out there and find? So as you're ranking them tonight and as you're going through them, keep that in mind too, to see if any of these wow you. All right, let's bring, oh, there they are. All right. So yeah, so our store picks really that much better than regular shelf available bourbons. As you rank these, keep in mind if they are wowing you or not, or if you think any of these are actually come across as anything special. That's kind of the theme of the night tonight. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into glass number one. We're going to, oh yeah, I'm sorry. We got new people, don't we? We got Chad and a couple of newer people. So the way we're going to, and Aaron. So the way we're going to do this is we are going to cut away to a 2-minute timer with a little bit of music. And I think I got the audio working for us this time. And you're going to get 2 minutes to spend with each glass. When that timer's up, we're going to come back and then we are going to give everybody an opportunity to give their first impressions one at a time. And once we've done that through all 6, then we can go back, taste them. We can, do A/B comparisons, go back and forth, talk them out, and then get our final rankings. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into glass number 1. All right, so that was glass number 1. All right, so now we'll go through one at a time and see what everybody's first impressions were. Let's start with Chris George. Chris, give us your
Hello.
first impressions on Glass One.
I swear if I didn't know any better, I'd swear I've had this before. It really sticks to the glass. Had a kind of a strong aroma, just of like rubbing alcohol to me. I didn't really pick up on too much, but it was a little peppery, a little caramel flavor, a little just a slight burn. I swear maybe there's probably a real light rye content in that, but it kind of lingers just a little, but it's smooth and it's got a real good finish to it.
Okay, great. All right. So real quick before we press on, we've got Trina in the background. Trina, I'm not sure that we've met, but I'm glad you are trying to join us. If you if you go ahead and go to the Facebook group, you're going to see a YouTube link where you can actually watch the stream via YouTube. So participants are the ones that are going to be on screen here through the StreamYard link, and we're limited on the number we couldn't have on here. So go ahead and go to the Facebook group and get the YouTube link that's posted, and you can jump on and watch from there. All right, a little bit of housekeeping there. Let's move on to Ashley and Brian. Ashley, what did you think about glass number one?
You're muted.
Oh, hang on. Where are they at?
So
Okay, there we go. You were muted. We couldn't hear you.
Can you
Go
hear
ahead,
me?
glass number one.
Okay, so I agree. This glass has a nice set of legs on it. For aroma, I think kind of indistinguishable fruit juice. I'm not really sure. Flavor, vanilla, tobacco, nice spicy finish, a little bit of clove in it. It's good. It's all the notes I like. So
Okay, great. Brian, what did you think about glass one?
On the nose, I got a sweet berry. Flavor wise, tobacco leather. Finish, I got hints of mint and then like a rye spice, real long finish. It's good.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's go to Brody. Brody, what did you think about glass one?
That's off the nose. I didn't get much off of it. I'm also getting over a little sinus problem, so I might not smell anything. Taste notes, I got vanilla, a little fruit, maybe like some apricot, like a floral taste, with a little bit of rye spice lingering at the end. It was pretty good.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Chad. Chad, what did you think about glass number one?
Just like Brody, also kind of getting over sinus infection, but definitely smelled the alcohol. Not really a whole overwhelming smell for me. As far as the flavor goes, a little grassy, definitely probably tobacco. Then just a heavy spice as far as like pepper, probably in my opinion, and a little caramel. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, great. All right, let's go to Will. Will, what did you think about glass number one?
Glass.
oh, start over, Will.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah.
All right. So I was just saying, I just now got enough light to see how well it clings to the glass. On the nose, it was kind of like a sour and musty ethanol, like fusel a little bit. The taste was a bit mild, and then I got like the bochet honey and like something that's kind of tangy going on. I think it's probably a fairly young selection.
Did you taste it?
Okay. All right. Let's go to Aaron. Aaron, what did you think first impressions on glass one?
Am I supposed to say what it is?
Oh no, just go ahead and just tell us what you thought about it. What any notes you got on it? Did you, if you liked it or not? Kind of was just any of your thoughts, first impressions.
It smells really good. I don't know what kind of notes I would give you.
Well, that's okay. You just like, did you find it sweet or bitter
Yes.
or oaky or?
Sweet is definitely a word I would use.
Okay. All right, great. Yeah, that's good. Let's go to Mike and Kelly. Kelly, what did you think? First impressions on Glass One. Oh, hang on, I got you muted. Hang on. All right, go ahead. First impressions on Glass One.
But the first one, I thought it smelled really, really good, spicy cinnamon, like kind of like potpourri-ish. I have a feeling it's low alcohol content because I didn't mind it. The first one I did was a high alcohol content one, but definitely peppery. So I don't know if I would buy it again per se, but I didn't mind it.
Okay. Mike, how about you? What did you think?
I think it had a nondescript aroma. I don't think that it was bourbon. It didn't have anything that stood out to me. But upon tasting it, I thought it had a medicinal, like a medicine-y taste, like someone else described earlier. I was kind of, maybe it's just me or my palate, I associate that with like a cheaper tasting bourbon that's got that medicine-y taste that I'm not fond of. I'm going to guess that it's a lower proof, but the only thing that really stood out was, I think what Chad just said, tobacco. A little bit of the tobacco flavor.
Okay.
Script.
All right, great. Let's go to Landon. Landon, what did you think? First impressions on Glass One.
Yeah, not too much to add on off of what everyone was saying. Definitely the ethanol on the nose. On the finish, it was like a spearmint. It was definitely like a minty, spicy finish. Lingered a little bit. I don't think this is over 100 proof. It was definitely smooth. This one, I would say I'm in the middle on.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. I think that's everybody. What did you think?
So I thought I had like a pretty decent nose. It was a little oaky, but had some cereal grain. Definitely had a good mouth feel, proof tingle. I agree. Like the vanilla spice. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed right away. It did have a little bit of cereal grain on the nose, but there was some oakiness with that cereal grain, which is kind of odd because cereal grain kind of usually leans younger for me. But I did get a little bit of some oak or toastiness on the nose. I thought the mouthfeel was pretty decent. It had some decent weight to it. It wasn't like overly coating, but a little bit of oiliness, decent mouthfeel. And I actually thought the finish was pretty good. I would have pegged this around 105 to 110 proof. So interesting how it comes off the palates differently. And that's after my warm up. My warm up's a barrel. I want to say the warm up is about 115, 116 proof. So interesting. Okay, so where are we at around the room? Thumbs up, sideways, or down? Initial impression.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Good. A little bit of mix, but mostly positive. So great. Well, now let's go ahead and pick up glass number 2, and we'll go ahead and get into that. Get our timer called up here.
Mm.
All right. That was glass number 2. And wow. That's all I have to say about that. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So we're going to go over and start with Landon since he had to wait all the way to the end last time. Landon, give us your first impressions on glass 2.
This one is definitely a lot better. I got kind of like a fruity nose to it. Grape maybe, but then flavor took definitely a big U-turn. Cinnamon oaky, like dry leather, very nice and hot, stays a while. Really, this one was a lot better, I would say. Very good.
Okay. All right. So that's interesting that you got grapiness on it. I'm with you. This was my initial was wow.
Yeah.
I got graham crackers and chocolate, almost like you liquefied a s'more on the nose. And then I was super excited because that's what I got on the palate too. So that's just wow. Anyways, let's move on to Mike and Kelly. Kelly, what did you think first impressions on glass 2?
I think it smelled like a vanilla, and it started out sweet initially, ended kind of medicinally with like a sting to it. I definitely liked it better than the first one though, but both of them smelled amazing.
Okay. Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with her a lot on that. I think they had the aroma was like a vanilla candy is how I would describe it. I'm going to say it's probably a lower proof as well, 90 to 100. It started off sweet, but then it did change. I would say less medicinal, but it had a kick at the end that didn't initially, not at the onset. It wasn't till the end that it really kicked in with the heat. But still, would still say it's a lower 100 proof. Not bad, but definitely better than the first one.
Yeah, I think you're right on. I mean, I think I would have pegged that about 95 to 100. I think the heat did definitely kick in on the finish, which I kind of liked. But I don't know if you guys are this was just clinging to the glass, which if it is under 100 proof is pretty impressive to me. So let's go with Aaron. Aaron, what did you think first impressions on glass 2?
I thought the nose was similar to the first one. I do smell vanilla in this one, and quite a bit of ethanol.
Okay.
And I think it's a higher proof. It might be slightly over 100.
Okay. All right. And your overall impressions, pleasing, or take it or leave it, or
I like it. It has a linger to it. I like it.
Okay, great. All right. Let's go back to Will. Will, give us your first impressions on glass 2.
Well, it definitely clung to the glass amazingly. It had, I'm not sure if I'm smelling the whiskey or my environment here when I'm nosing it. It's kind of a woody with a little bit of fruit going on. And we had some notes on flavor: smooth, cherry, clove. I think it might be a little younger, but the flavor was long and warming, and it was very nice. And
Okay.
So these are store picks, or are they just picks?
So 1 or 2 might be a group pick, but yeah, that's their store picks. But they are single barrel picks from either a store or a group.
All right.
Yep. All right. Let's go with Chad. Chad, what did you think first impressions on glass 2?
The first thing I noticed was that it clung to the glass really well. And then I actually got a really good aroma. I wrote down, I definitely smelled some sweetness. And then the very next thing was kind of like a burnt wood type of smell there. And that I kind of tasted that in the flavor too. It almost was like a burnt walnut. And then I thought it was kind of nutty and definitely had an intense flavor. And the finish was great. I really liked this one.
Okay, great. Let's go to Brody. Brody, what did you think? First impressions on glass two?
So initial on the nose, again, I didn't smell anything. But then when you guys started talking about grape and chocolate graham cracker, I was like, let me see if I can smell it. And I 100% agree with you, the chocolate graham cracker. Like I was like, man, is there a fire nearby? Like, but on the taste, this one was kind of all over the place for me. I got spearmint, cinnamon, clove with like a nutty finish, a good spice. It lingered for a while. It was actually really good, even though I couldn't like pinpoint one thing.
Right. No, that's good. I was wondering if anybody else would pick up on the graham cracker and chocolate in it.
Yeah, I got that for sure.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to Ashley and Brian. Let me get your mute here. Ash, what did you think? First impression of glass two.
Well, I agree. This one did have a good set of legs on it. Aroma, oak and vanilla to me. The flavor profile that I was picking up, pecan, oak. I also picked up cherry and some leather. Had a nice oaky lingering finish. And overall, I think this one was really good.
Okay. Brian, how about you?
So yeah, it's still sitting on the edge of my glass. But I got oak and cereal on the nose. Flavor wise, vanilla, dark fruits. Finish was a sweet cinnamon. It was a nice finish, long. It was good.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think the last two have had a pretty decent finish. Let's go to Chris.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'm glad to hear you say the what you said, the chocolate and graham cracker, because I went back and smelled it as you were talking. I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. But at first I was a little worried because I was starting to think maybe I needed to go take a COVID test, because if I didn't know any better, I'd swear these two were the same. Right off the nose. Again, the ethanol, I didn't pick up on anything till you said chocolate, graham crackers, and then I started smelling that kind of oaky, smoky. I picked up on notes of that. But like I said, right first, I was thinking maybe this was a single and a small batch of the same thing. But obviously, being at their store picks, they're all single barrels. I would assume they're probably from the same distillery if I had to take a guess.
Okay.
But definitely picked up tobacco and leather right off the bat after the nose. A little bit stronger. It lingers, but yet it was a little bit buttery to me.
Okay. Yeah, I think I definitely got some of that butteriness. Jess agrees with you on the smokiness. And that'll be interesting if you think they're from the same distillery. There may or may not be in there. We'll have to see at the end. All right, what did you think?
I like vanilla cinnamon. I put toasted, definitely higher proof. I like what Landon said, hot and stays a while. But I think as you guys all were talking, I took a couple extra sips and it like kind of mellowed out a little bit. And I do like it. Initially, I would have told you not so much, but it kind of grows on you a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, show of thumbs. Where are we at on this one? Thumbs up, sideways, or down? Oh, 2 thumbs up from Will. All right. Okay. Couple, one side. Okay. All right. So we're still pretty positive. It's a good flight so far. All right. Okay. Well, that's good. Moving on to glass number 3. Let's spend a couple minutes with this. And we'll come back with your first impressions. All right. That was glass number 3. And again, wow. I don't think you liked it as much as I did. But
I maybe.
Maybe.
I'll take it.
I mean, I got Rickhouse because at first I was like, okay, there's oak. And then I'm like, okay, but it's not musty. It's not the char of the barrel. It's just like barrels, like a Rickhouse. And then I got
Darker in the glass than
yeah,
the other two.
it's pretty dark in the glass
I think
too.
it's been aged a little longer.
Red fruit and cinnamon. And then I got powdered donut on the finish. I would be very interested if anybody else got that.
I got like a sweet toasted type. I do like it. It's just different notes than you.
So let's go back up to Chris now. And Chris, let us know what you thought about glass 3.
You stole my answer.
Oh, did I? Perfect. We're on the same page.
You can't read my handwriting, but it's right there. Rickhouse.
Yeah.
That's exactly old wood moss. It's like that damp, musty. Just give me that candle that I can just lather myself up in and everything. Yeah. To me, at first, it didn't seem to coat the glass as well, but still had that peppery. But you said finish is sweet. I said vanilla and caramel. You know, it lingers longer, but it was smoother, less burn.
Okay.
I like it. My number one so far.
Yeah, it does. It does finish smooth, or it does finish sweet, and that sweetness I was getting for some reason because I don't eat powdered donuts. I don't really like powdered donuts, but I was getting a powdered donut kind of in my mind there. So
It's all
let's
in the
go
stash
to
and everything.
What's that?
Gets all in the stash and everything.
Yeah.
Still got color, you know. So yours, I can get away with it. You can't.
Right. All right. Let's go to Ash and Brian. Ashley, what did you think first impression on glass 3?
I just got some oakiness on the nose, but for the flavor, it really reminded me of some of the Jim Beam, like nuttiness, some of those products. So nuttiness, peanuts, baked goods, a little bit of earthiness, nice lingering baking spice finish, and a completely different flavor profile than the first two, but I did like it.
Right. Okay. Great.
No powdered donuts though.
What's that?
No powdered donuts.
No powdered donuts?
Maybe
Okay.
like the donuts with the peanuts on top or something.
Okay. Brian, how about you?
I also did not get powdered donuts.
Oh, man.
Aroma wise, I mean, not much. I got leather. Flavor was oaky, a little bit of cinnamon, almost like a yeasty, like a farmhouse ale. Finish was clove spice, rye, nice long finish. It was good.
Yeah, you said yeasty, almost like an ale. One note Jess mentioned to me was like a yeasty bread,
I said doughy.
like a doughy. Yeah.
Not a donut, but like
I
dough.
got baked goods. I think it's somewhere in that realm.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Brody. Brody, what did you think? First impressions on glass 3?
I thought it was pretty good. On the nose, I got like a yeasty bread smell. For the taste, I got a lot of caramel, honey, like a baked good or a little bit of a bakery going on in there. And then the finish smooth, really light. I liked it.
Okay. Great. All right. Chad, what did you think? First impressions on glass 3?
All right, so this might sound a little weird, and someone said it before that it kind of reminded of like a must. The first thought I had was that it smelled like an old book, but it also was kind of sweet. Then I think you mentioned like berries or fruit. I definitely got some of that. And then I said it reminded me of like buckwheat pancakes because I definitely picked on some like baked good sort of taste, but it was more like it wasn't as sweet as I don't know, not really donutty in my opinion, but more like a pancake.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. No, those are some great notes, actually. There's a channel we watch, shameless little plug for Stuff and Whiskey, Josh and Aaron. Aaron often, she'll either get a log cabin or like old books, like a library. And those are some of her favorite nosing notes. So yeah, definitely tracking with you on that.
That and Stinky Feet.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to Will. Will, let us know what you thought, first impressions of Glass 3.
Well, it was darker than the first two that we've tasted, at least in the glasses that I've poured them in. The aroma was, I agree with the musty library. Yep, still musty library. I got kind of like an abrasive wood, like if I was chewing on some freshly cut wood, but not toasted or charred. There was kind of a weird clove, then some leather, and then the flavor was just long and numbing. I suspect this might be a Tennessee something.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. We shall see. All right. Let's go to Aaron. Aaron, what did you think about glass number 3?
This I like the nose the least out of the 3 so far on this one.
Okay.
And I thought the nose didn't match the palate very well. The first thing I got when I took a sip was the first thing I thought of was cough syrup.
Okay. Yeah. So a little medicinal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has like a not really a rye effect, but there's some harshness in it also. I don't know what else to call it besides harshness.
No, that's perfect. All right. Let's go to Mike and Kelly. Kelly, what did you think first impressions on glass 3?
The aroma, I thought it smelled like a wet wipe. And I was like, this is not going to be good, but I actually really liked it. I even started it, and I'm curious to see what it's going to be. I don't know how to describe the flavors, but I know I like it.
Okay, perfect. Mike, how about you?
I thought it was a very strong aroma, like burn your nose hair strong. Same thing. I thought I wasn't going to like it. This is my favorite so far. I can't really pick out any specific flavors other than to say it's very smooth and just enough Kentucky tongue to make it good.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And let's go over to Landon. Landon, give us your first impressions on glass 3.
Yeah, I didn't get much on the nose. Listening to what everyone else has, I'm going to sum it up to, for me, it was like a piece of buttered toast with some cereal and some sauce on it. Very grainy, like you could really taste it on your tongue and in your mouth. Very hot finish. I think it was smoother, though, than the previous one. And this one takes my first spot so far.
Okay, interesting. All right, so they're just getting better and better for you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, perfect. Okay, so where are we at for our thumbs on glass number 3? Up, sideways, or down? Okay, we got 2 thumbs up on there. Okay, sideways. All right, couple thumbs. All right, so we're getting a little. Will's almost a thumbs down. Interesting. Very interesting. So that's what I love about these, right? We have very different flavor profiles of what people like here. So this is good.
So
right.
I did notice something here after I've had the first 3. I picked up the 4th, and so I don't have a furnace. It's 40 something degrees here in the house.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm realizing I'm not getting any of the good volatiles out of the nose because it's cold.
So cold. Yep. Yeah, you need a little bit of warmth in there to let that kind of aerate a little bit. Interesting. All right, so we've made it through 3. It looks like we're progressively getting better for some people, which is a good thing. What we're going to do is halfway through here, we're going to take a pause, get some water. We're going to let your palates come down to temperature, reset a little bit. I did have a couple of notes to go over here. One is our events. I know a lot of you guys already signed up for some stuff coming up. But the big thing coming up is our Christmas party. So if you haven't checked that out yet or not, I believe it's December 17th. That's a Saturday. It's going to be at Jeff Zimmerman's place. It's where we had our Christmas party last year. What?
Yeah.
Yep. It's where we had our Christmas party last year. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. We're going to have food. We're going to have a bottle share. We're also going to have a best of 2022 blind flight. There may be a couple of bottles of allocated whiskey given away during that as well. So that's going to be a fun time that you're not going to want to miss. Also coming up, I just posted, we've got 5 additional spots. I know a lot of you are in the inner circle chat, but for those that aren't, we've got 5 additional spots for on Monday, November 14th at 7:30 p.m. We're going to do a live stream with Nick and Zach, the founders of Found North Whiskey. They've sent us some samples. Pull some of those out right there. They've sent us some samples that we're going to divvy out, and we're going to do a live stream and taste through with them. We've got their batch 3, 4, 5, 6, and a sherry finished single barrel. So check out my post. If that's something you're interested in doing, make sure you respond. I've only got 5 spots left for that. And this will be a precursor. I want to get everybody, as many people as possible in the group to be able to taste it, because we may be doing a barrel pick with them next year. And it may be a collaboration pick with a whiskey YouTube channel. So that's coming up. Check that out. And plug for our membership. So unless you have not checked the page in a while, we passed our bylaws. We elected a board of directors. Our 501c3 charitable organization paperwork has been filed. And starting the first of the year, we are going to add on some dues paid membership levels that are going to include certain additional privileges and kind of cool stuff that we have coming forward. So during December, we're going to do a membership drive for those. So keep that in mind coming up as we continue to grow the Whiskey Society. So any questions, concerns, issues with what's going on from everybody?
Did you ever do the drawing for the little tasting bottles?
We did.
I never saw the results.
We did that at the bottle release party, and actually Ashley and Brian won the tasting kit.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
Tell them congratulations.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? Anything about what's going on?
I was wondering if you're going to go through Patreon.
Yes. So that's what we're doing. I'm working with Chris Webb was elected our treasurer, and I'm working with him on that. We're getting our bank account set up, and the membership will go through Patreon. So it just makes it a lot easier. A lot of people are familiar with that platform. So that's what we're going to do. Any other questions?
Am I doing the Found North thing too? Because I think Ashley's doing it, but I don't know if I'm doing it.
Yeah, I just assumed you were in with it. Anything else? Cool. All right. Well, let's continue on with our flight. Let's go ahead and get into glass number 4.
Whoa.
Well, if you say whoa, it's gonna...
Very similar to those.
All right. That that was glass number 4. That was wow. Who else? Somebody said wow. Real quick here, before we jump into your notes, I'm gonna switch screens here because I think we got some. I'm gonna check the chat. Yeah, we got other people watching along. Nothing in the chat. If you're watching along on YouTube and you got questions or anything to add, just type in the chat and we'll bring you up in that. But for now, let's go
If you're in the chat, say hi.
Yeah. Let's go to Landon.
Man, I tell you, it just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, this one had me go back at it. I mean, just to try again. This one has a quick finish, so while it's there, you really got to dissect it. Really fruity, berry, woody. I mean, there's a lot to dissect in the short span because once it goes down the throat, it doesn't really stick with you that long. So, not a high proof, but yeah, this one's very good.
Awesome. Yeah, this was. I mean, my first taste. I didn't even get any notes. It was just a rush of flavor and intensity.
Yeah.
And the heat built, and I was just like, whoa, that's an experience. So looks like we've got Josh and Jackie in the chat watch along with us. They say hi, everybody.
Hey.
All right, let's go over to Mike and Kelly. Mike and Kelly. Kelly, tell us what you thought about first impression on Glass 4.
When I first smelled it, I thought it smelled hot, and then I thought it tasted like the Fireball candy, the hard candy, and then it finished kind of peppery. I also started this one too. I'm gonna have to go back and see which one I like better, 3 or 4. But I'm also excited to find out what this one will be. I'm with the one guy that said it finishes pretty quickly, but I definitely liked it.
Yeah, I was surprised with that because it built heat pretty intensive, and then it did mellow out pretty quick. Mike, how about you? What did you think?
Yeah, I have to agree. I have very cinnamon, harsh, initial, taste, hot. I got pepper and spice, like a hitter. It started strong, stayed strong, then it finished quick and was gone. But I would have to rate this one number 2 so far, behind number 3.
Wow. All right.
And yeah.
Good. We're staying good here. Let's go to Aaron. Aaron, let us know what you thought about Glass 4. Oh, hang on, Aaron. You're muted. I'm trying to unmute you there. There you go.
Okay. On the nose, I got ethanol right in the face. And then it seemed like it was high proof, but like everybody's saying, it just goes away very quickly. But I did enjoy it. I like this probably the best so far.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Very cool. All right. Let's go to Will. Will, let us know what you thought about Glass 4.
So this one was kind of a big hit of plum, stone fruit, and fresh wood on the nose. And the flavor was quite resinous up front, and then just very punchy, spicy, and drying. And it as everyone's mentioned so far, it finished out very quick. But I do kind of have like the little residue of, well, like a cinnamon or a spiced candy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, just like if you actually eat one of those and it's kind of sticks around for a little bit. Interesting. All right. Chad, let us know what you thought, first impressions on Glass 4.
You hear me?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, definitely got ethanol right off the bat. Kind of blew me away a bit. And then when I tasted it, it was the same effect. It was super intense. Definitely got cinnamon, kind of like big red gum. Then it did finish kind of fruity and almost reminded me, like someone said peppery. And I don't know if you're referring to black pepper or like actual peppers, but it reminded me almost like a pepper jelly. Kind of had that strong spice flavor, but a little bit of sweetness. And definitely went away really fast.
Yeah, no, pepper jelly is a great note on that one. Awesome. Let's go to Brody. Brody, what did you think about Glass 4?
So I'm still not getting much off the nose tonight, but this was a very interesting glass to me. It was very intense. I got the toasted oak, wood, berry, grain, rice spice, black pepper. I mean, everything. The fact that it went away so quickly, I would actually put this in last place. But if that initial would have stayed and lingered, this would have been by far my favorite.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so you put a lot of stock in the finish.
Yes, I like taking my time in between sips. This one, I feel like I would have to be sipping constantly throughout the night.
Interesting. All right. You know, that brings up a very interesting point when we're doing these type of tastings and intentionally breaking down these whiskeys into the little components, and it depends on the individual taster. Like Fred Minute, for example, will always talk about how the finish is the most important part of a whiskey. So it could have an amazing flavor, a great mouthfeel, but if it doesn't have a good finish, he's not going to rank it well. Whereas me, personally, the finish is I like a good finish, but to me, the mouthfeel is the most important. If it feels thin, it's dead. I don't care if it has a super long finish. If it feels thin, not. So it's very interesting, different perspectives and what different people are looking for. Speaking of what they're looking for, let's see what Brian and Ashley are looking for in glass number 4. Ash, let us know what you thought.
All right. Well, I thought on the nose, I got a little bit of ethanol and then a very slight cherry vanilla. Again, compared to glass 3, I am picking up a lot of peanuts again on this one. But I'm also, I wrote down Dr. Pepper, which is so super random, but I kind of, that's kind of one of the flavor profiles. And then a peanutty heated finish that I felt like went away pretty quickly. And I did like this one. And I feel like this one's most comparative to the glass right before it than any of the others.
You know, it's interesting. I didn't get a lot of flavor notes because it was such an intense experience when I first tasted it. When you mentioned Dr. Pepper, and I just went back for a sip of it, and I'm like, yeah, I could maybe kind of see that 27 different flavors all mashed together. Brian, what did you think? Were you the one that said wow in the beginning when we started the timer?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was really good. Aroma wise, I got, nutmeg, oakiness, flavor, sweet fruit, tobacco, a little bit of leather, dark chocolate. And then everyone keeps saying the finish was short. I don't think it was that short. It wasn't long, but I got a lot of clove spice, maybe a little bit of rye on the finish. Really good mouth coating. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Good. And now let's go to Chris. Chris, let us know what you thought about glass 4.
That's the great thing about doing this. We all kind of have separate profiles, but then we can all come together. And like she just said about the Dr. Pepper, no, that's totally on point because like a lot of us are picking up, like I wrote down, dark fruit, date, fig, something like you just can't narrow it down. And sometimes we're just sitting here listening to somebody describe something and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm tasting. I didn't know how to put it into words, but yeah, I mean, same thing with Brian. I allspice and clove. That's what I picked up on this. But then I didn't pick up, just like Brody, all of these tonight, I'm not picking up anything on the nose. To me, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear they're all coming from the same bottles from the same, one barrels above each other. But then after you taste it and you go back, you start picking up that sweet vanilla, smoother. But yeah, it finishes quick. I agree, but it doesn't dissipate completely. This is number 1, number 2 for me tonight.
Awesome. Interesting. All right. So I think this one is going to be a little more interesting. Where are we at? Thumbs up, sideways, or thumbs down on this one? I thought Landon. No, we started with Landon. Landon, didn't we start with you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, where are we at? Thumbs up, sideways, or thumbs down? I'm starting to teeter. I'm about where Will is. Okay, yeah, this one's definitely a little more decisive. Interesting. This is going to make for an interesting scoring. Okay, so now let's go ahead and pick up glass 5. We'll go over and get our timer started, and we'll come back with your first impressions. All right, that was glass number 5. Let's go up and start with Chris this time. Chris, give us your first impressions, your thoughts on glass 5.
I was really hoping you wouldn't start with me. I wanted to steal everybody else's answers. It's got great legs, and it's probably the darkest one, I think, of the night. Maybe closest to the next one, but I don't like it. I can't find anything. It's hot,
Okay.
smells hot, it tastes hot. If I didn't know any better, this is probably the highest rye content, and I don't know, maybe there's something else in there, but yeah, this one's hot.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's go on to Ash and Brian. Ashley, let us know what you thought. Glass 5. Oh, hang on. I don't think you're muted. Oh, you guys got it muted. I can unmute you. You guys have it muted. I can't unmute you. Oh, no, maybe. Nope, hang on. I can. I was clicking the wrong one. My bad.
I didn't do it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
no, that was me. My bad.
it's okay. So I do. This one has a nice set of legs. Aroma wise, floral, some spice, caramel, flavor profile, vanilla, tobacco, tea. It's got that dry, hot finish that I like. Gets a little tangy in your throat, and I think it's probably a little higher proof. And I actually really, really like this one.
Okay, interesting. Brian, how about you?
Nose wise, I got a sweet dark fruit, flavor vanilla, lots of caramel, a little oaky, rye, and then it just switched to like a really long cinnamon finish. It was probably the longest finish out of all of them. I feel I really enjoyed this one.
Okay. Yeah, it was interesting when Ash said like a little bit of a tangy, funky something or another in the back. This one was interesting. I got all the dark flavors again, like a bitter dark chocolate, heavy mouthfeel. But then I almost got a little bit of a black licorice right before as it rolled mid palate into the finish, which I don't like black licorice at all. But that anise kind of flavor into the finish, it kind of worked well with everything else going on here. So interesting. All right. Let's go on to Brody. Brody, let us know what you thought about Glass 5.
I agree with Chris at first. When I initially tasted it, I was like, man, I'm not getting anything out of this. It's hot, it's spicy. I got the tangy. After going back like a couple of times, I pulled maybe some butterscotch. I did get the black licorice out. It does have a nice linger, a lot of spice on the back end. And it seems like there's a lot going on that I can't quite pinpoint.
Right. Okay. Let's go to Chad. Chad, let us know what you thought about Glass 5.
I was in the same boat. I couldn't get anything out of this at first, but honestly, as I let it sit in my glass and the more sips I take, I'm able to pull more out of it. And I honestly enjoy it pretty well. I definitely get the anise and a little bit of nuttiness too. But no, I mean, at first I did not like it at all, but the more it sits, the better it gets for me.
Okay, interesting. I think I was kind of in line with you and Brody on that. At first I was like, whoa, this is a bit much. And then it kind of grows on you a little bit. All right, let's go over to Will. Let's see what Will thought about Glass 5.
So it had a really bright vanilla aroma at first, and then it just kind of settled down. As far as flavors, I got a not super dried peppercorn, clove, the fruitiness I associated with like a really good cocoa bean or a green coffee bean. And it definitely, it lingered out like an anise, just like I'm making something with fennel seeds.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm 100% on board with you on that one. All right. Let's go over to Aaron. Aaron, go ahead and let us know what you thought about Glass 5.
Unmute yourself.
Oh, hang on, Aaron. I think you're muted there.
Okay.
There you go.
On number 4, I put best so far, and then on number 5, I put best so far.
Interesting. Okay.
I actually got quite a few notes on this. I got honey, and I don't know if it was apple, but that's what Wendy said. And it was like a red fruit kind of smell, I guess. It is. I noticed it was the darkest so far. And as it sat, I got like a caramel and a spice scent from it also. But it was the first real Kentucky hug I've gotten so far, so I really like it.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I think we're all over the place on this one. That's very interesting. Okay, Mike and Kelly. Let's see what you guys thought. Kelly, what did you get on Glass 5?
When I first smelled it, I thought it smelled like a fruitcake. And then I actually thought it tasted like a fruitcake. I thought it was smooth on the palate, but kind of burned my lips a little bit, but I didn't mind it. So what I liked about this one, I think it's most well-rounded in my opinion. I thought it smelled good, tastes good, and had a nice moderate finish.
Okay. Interesting. And Mike, how about you?
On initial smell, I thought the aroma, it had a sweeter smell to it. I think why you're saying that we're all over on it, I think part of the reason for that is I would say that it started very sweet on the palate and then ended with a peppery burn. So it kind of hit that whole gambit because you kind of start at one end of the spectrum and end at the other. And whichever each individual is picking up on the most is why somebody will say it's sweet, somebody else will say it's peppery, giving you the all over kind of. But I would say it's probably got a higher rye content, and I like it. It's not better than number 3, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think you're right on with the different spectrum, and it just depends on which end of those flavors they're picking up on. I think you're right on with that. And Landon, what did you think about Glass 5?
Yeah, I like the comment. Like it's like this one's like a journey. For me, I'm not a part of the journey. This one, toothpaste candy on the nose, a lot of fruit, cherry, mint, fruit there. But then, then the burn on the back end. This one I'm gonna have to compare with glass number 2 in terms of the heat on the end there. But this one's my least favorite, I believe.
Okay, very interesting. Well, what did you think? Anything to add?
I thought it was bitter. I wrote tobacco down. It's got like a heat that builds, and it is a little drier. It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's probably in the middle of the pack for me right now. So this is going to be very interesting. Where are we at on our thumbs? I think I'm sideways on this one. Wow, Brian, 2 thumbs up. Couple sideways, 2 thumbs up, couple thumbs up, a thumbs down. Oh, yeah, very mixed on this one. Okay, very interesting. All right, well, we have made it to our last glass. Let's go ahead and pick up glass number 6. And we'll get into the tasting and come back with your first impressions.
Oh, boy.
Okay, that was glass number 6. Let's go ahead and go right over to Landon. Landon, what did you think about glass 6?
This one, I was looking at it compared to 5 in terms of, darkness and legs. I think it's comparable. On the nose, I got a brown sugar, some baked goods, and then it carried over to the palate well for me, like baked French toast. It was buttery. Average finish. But yeah, this one was good. This one's good to finish on. I like this one.
Okay, interesting. This was the first one tonight. I know there's been a few of these people haven't got a lot on the nose. This was the first one tonight I didn't get hardly anything on the nose on. And then it was just Werther's original caramel on the palate for me, and that was about it. It was different. It was easier. It felt easier than some of the other
It was
ones.
a little thinner than the rest of them. I got like a red fruit on the nose, which was interesting. But I'm with Landon. As soon as he said brown sugar and French toast, I'm like, yep, that's it.
Maybe that's where I was picking up the Werther's, but
Yeah,
I got nothing on the nose.
It's okay.
It's okay. It was felt mellow. But enough about what we thought. Let's find out what Mike and Kelly thought. So, Mike, what did you think about Glass 6?
I'd say on the nose immediately like a Rickhouse wood flavor smell, and it stuck right through the flavor profile, like a woodier kind of, not quite as like a double oak or something like that, but it definitely had that prominent wood flavor, which I like, and I so far I've got so far as it. I got that as my number 2. Of course, Woodford Double Oak's one of my favorites, so that's why. Could be why.
Interesting.
No. No disrespect to whatever number 6 will end up being, but I thought it smelled woody. And if I had to imagine what wet leaves taste like, it would be this. I did not like anything about it. It made me cringe. Again, no disrespect to whoever the makers are, but I did not like it.
Okay, interesting. Hang on. As we are continuing on here, I think we've made it, folks. We've hit like the whiskey YouTube stardom because we have a bot in our chat.
Hooray, spam.
I'm trying to kick him out. Did you get it?
I don't see the...
Okay. I think maybe we got it.
Don't buy the followers.
Hey, when the bots are attacking you, I think that's when that's the when you know you've made it. So we'll try and keep up on that. So let's go to Aaron. Aaron, let us know what you thought about Glass 6.
Well, I didn't like the nose. Hang on, am I on? Yes,
Okay.
I am. Good.
Yeah, you're good.
It smelled like a wet walking through the woods right after a downpour. What it smelled like.
Okay.
And when I tasted it, it tasted just like a rye. It got a lot of peppery taste to it. The taste was definitely better than the nose. It wasn't my favorite though.
Okay. All right. I think I kind of agree with you on that a little bit. Well, let's go to Will. Will, what did you think about Glass 6?
So on the nose, at first I had difficulty getting anything, and then it kind of reminded me of like just a musty wooden edifice, and there was nothing aside from that I could discern as being like a flavor. On the taste, toasted wood, medicinal cherry, a little bit of like roasted caramel, just getting into the charry side of things. It's still finishing out, but I'm not super loving it.
Yeah, I mean, I am now like completely dunking my nose into the glass and like deeper than
Be
I
careful.
normally
You
would.
might lose your sense of taste and smell for a couple days.
Right. Deeper than I normally would. And I'm picking up a little bit of that kind of musty oak, a little bit. Almost like I get on the IW Harper 15, but the IW Harper 15, you don't have to dunk your nose in for it. But I really got to search for it. I mean, like a lot.
No, it's right there.
Let's go to Chad. Chad, what did you think about Glass 6?
Honestly, at first, I don't know. I didn't know what to think. Then I did kind of pick up, I think someone said French toast, it might have been Landon. Kind of picked up like a maple syrupy kind of taste. But honestly, the more this is really weird. I think it was number 5. The more I sipped it, the better it got. Honestly, the more I sip this one, I feel like the worse it gets. I don't know why, but I definitely get that musty smell. Kind of reminds me of like, I don't know, wet corn husks. That's the best I got. I live by a cornfield, so
Yeah, no.
I'm really definitely, I don't know. At first I really liked it, and now it's just kind of not good.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Brody, what did you think about Glass 6?
From the nose, I didn't get much at all until you guys started talking about the musty smell, and then I kind of started picking that up after I went back. On the taste, I thought it was very weak. I thought it was very blah. I actually wrote the word blah down. I pulled maybe some caramels and like a very faded chocolate. I almost wanted to say like white chocolate, but I was like, I don't think white chocolate and bourbon really go together. There's not much of an intensity or finish to it. I agree with Chad. The more I drank, the worse it got, and I almost finished it trying to pull flavors out of it.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Let's go to Ashley and Brian. Brian, what did you think about Glass 6?
On the nose, I got a little bit of cherry and like cheap chocolate. Flavor-wise, vanilla. It was really earthy. On the finish, it was oak and a lot of pepper. It almost tasted a little thin.
Okay. Ash, how about you?
I did not get much on the nose at all, to be honest with you. And the flavors, I don't know. I had like a smoked cedar kind of thing going on, earthy, a little bit of like butter pecan, vanilla finish. This one definitely was not my favorite. It was okay.
Okay. All right. And Chris, what did you think about Glass 6?
This is probably the one glass I picked the most up on the nose. It was yeasty. Like Aaron said, he was that wet walk in the woods, that musty, damp, wood oaky smell, almost like a rick house. But so maybe this one's a little bit younger. I don't know. But I think this one I kind of played with the glass, seeing how close I could get it to the edge. And it looked like this one kind of lingered the most on the glass. So I think this one probably had the longest legs, but it was a little nutty and a little grainy for me. But yeah, it was kind of all over the board with this one too. And I don't know, there's a lot going on, and yeah, it's not my favorite either. But my 1 and 2 are hard, and my 5 and 6 are going to be hard.
Yeah, I think I definitely have my top 3 and my bottom 3. But yeah, we're gonna have to go back through and figure out what they are. What did you think?
This one?
Mm-hmm.
I think we already talked about it.
Okay, nothing to add. All right, so where are we at on our thumb meter here? Oh, okay, so thumb down, 2 thumbs down from Kelly. Okay, a bunch of sideways, some down. All right, well, it's probably not going to be hard to figure out where this one's going to end up at. But now we have made it through all 6. We've had a chance to hear everybody's first impressions. So now we're just going to open it up freeform. Let's talk it out. Let's go back, do some side-by-side, and start narrowing down your final ranking. I know I got to go back to 2 and 3 because.
So Ashley, you said cedar for number 6, and yeah, that like finishes the thought I had on the aroma. I was like, this is like a moldy swimming area, but no, it's a musty sauna.
Yep, it's a cedar chest. That's what I thought going back to it. Yeah.
Did anybody go back and smell 5? I know we just came from it, but I'm getting a way sour smell on 5 now.
I am too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is weird. That's going to change up my thought. But 3, go back and nose 3. Oh my god, 3 is so good. Go back to 1. I'm getting sweet tarts on
Mm-hmm.
on
Like
one
more
now.
fruity. We
Like
said cereal.
sprees and sweet tarts, like
We said cereal.
a bright powdery candy.
When I read
That's interesting. Okay.
That's two.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, you go back through, and I mean, I'm picking up all kinds of great aromas on them now. But when I taste them, I think I'm really dead set. I think my initial picks, I think my tastings are in order.
Yeah. Oh, you got it already? Wow.
I think so. But yeah, I mean, I'm smelling them, and I'm like, oh man, that smells great.
Oh yes, 4 smells much better to me than it did last time.
Yeah, see, and I have 4 ranked higher than 5, but 5 smells better than 4.
Yeah.
But
Oh man,
4 tastes better than 5.
4 tastes good to me now too.
It makes me think what Brody said.
I'm thinking we just need to start over.
Finishes, you know, we enjoy it. Not just
we need full pours.
No.
Everybody pack up at the Joe's house.
Yeah. Come over to the whiskey room.
No, please don't.
I have a bottle call.
Write it down.
You have a bottle? Okay, write it down.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I don't. I'm not saying anything. Never mind.
Nope,
I'll
you
just
said
write it down.
it.
See if I'm right.
You said it. Write it
Write
down.
it down.
I do.
Anybody picked up any good bottles lately?
Well.
So
Yeah,
Jess,
you did.
yes.
I don't mean like, you know, a whole shelf full, but
So today, Jess just picked up this little beauty.
nice.
Oh my!
I've seen lots of
It's
pictures
a
of it.
Willet.
Is that the
10-year
green?
Rye.
So
It's a rye, and it's a 10-year.
she won the lottery,
Oh,
and it's a 10-year Willet 10-year rye.
My dad won the lottery for me, so I get my 7 on Monday.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, 7-year rye.
Very nice.
It's really interesting because I really want to open it up because the
Right.
regular rye is so good. The
Well,
4-year.
So
Last year, I
Was it
think
10
I
years
had
single barrel?
8 to 10 different people putting in for me for like 4 or 5 different, not a hit.
yeah.
The
So
wife
I
missed,
will
two,
admit,
two
I
had
did
2
pick.
picks.
I did pick every place in the state that was offering it. And I was like, yeah, we'll go for a drive. That's what we decided. But
she won
I
at
won at
Joseph's.
Joseph's. So
Yeah. Now I was thinking because originally, because of the value of that bottle, I was gonna try and trade up for a couple of bottles I've been wanting, like a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye and a Michter's barrel proof rye and stuff like that. But now I'm thinking we haven't decided yet, but we might offer up people. You can PM me if you want because we don't do selling on our group page. But we're thinking about offering up half the bottle in 2-ounce samples for a price.
Wow.
Just to kind of spread it out there a little bit.
Wow.
And help us recoup the cost of the bottle. So
I finally picked up my sweet wheat.
oh, did you?
A very fair price. I traded a bottle of antique and $30.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's
Have
perfectly
you opened
fair.
it yet?
Come on, no. But I also did a buddy of mine. He had a 12-year, so I traded the what was it? The liquor cabinet store pick.
Yeah.
Then my amazing wife went and picked up for me. Traded that, so I've got the 12-year. I've got
You
the sweet
traded that
wheat.
straight up for the 12-year?
Yeah,
That's
because I
really
mean,
good trade.
yeah. That's what I thought too.
love-
But he was a high school friend, so you know, I think there's a little bit of
Yeah.
loyalty or whatever there. So
I
yeah,
will tell you
definitely.
what, I would drink, and I like Weller 12-year, but I would drink the 1792 12-year over a Weller 12-year any day. I
Really?
love the 1792 12-year. Oh yeah,
oh yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I seen a couple people posted the high rye and they want like $360 for it. But yet the Bourbon Blue Book only says market value secondary is like 55 to 65.
For what now?
The high rye.
For what high rye?
The 1792 high rye. It says secondary market value is $55 to $65, but I've seen two people that have had it posted for $300.
For the I'm still not tracking which one. The full proof or the
1792 high rye. They've had it posted for like one person had 365, another person had 360.
Which one is the high rye? I don't know what the
I haven't yet.
Mash bill.
Yeah, you haven't seen that around here anywhere. And I think that's probably why they're wanting so much for it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, I think I'm gonna have to go with my gut. I think I've got my ranking. Give me a thumbs up if you've got your ranking, I think, squared away. Okay, looks like we're good across the board there. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, for those of you that are new, we're gonna go each person, and you're gonna give me your number 1 to your number 6 by glass number. So for me, my number 1 is glass 3. So mine would, starting with my highest ranking, I would be 3, 4, 2, 1, 5, 6. And that's my number 1 place to my last place. So now we're going to go to each person, and they're just going to give us the glass number, best. So which one? We picked the same thing. Oh, that's weird. We picked the same thing again. Okay, so let's go to Chris. Chris, give us your rankings.
Make that 3 of us.
Oh, are we exactly the same? Wow.
Right.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's go to
never
Brian.
happened.
Brian, give us yours.
4, 2, 5, 3, 1, 6.
Okay, and Ashley, yours.
2, 4, 1, 3, 5, 6.
Okay, and Brody.
2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6.
Okay, and Chad.
I had 3, 2, 4, 5, 1, 6.
Okay, and Will.
I have 2, 5, 1, 4, 3, 6.
Okay, and Aaron.
All right. I have 5, 4, 2, 1, 3, 6.
Okay, and Mike.
I have 3, 6, 4, 5, 2, and 1.
Okay, and Kelly.
I have 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 6.
All right, and Landon.
3, 4, 6, 2, 1, 5.
All right, so we've got everybody's individual rankings. I am going to tally them and get us a group ranking. Now, here it's like a golf score. Lowest score wins. So if you put something in first place, it gets 1 point. If you put something in last place, it gets 6 points. Lowest score total wins. So go ahead and finish your drinks if you've got any left in your samples. Talk amongst each other, and I'm going to tally these up, and I will be right back.
Have you guys ever heard of Lock, Stock, and Barrel?
Yes.
It is phenomenal if you're willing to pay the price.
Oh, the age statements along with it are just amazing.
Well, the one that I just had the 21 year.
Oh.
And it was the best thing I've ever had in my life. And then I looked up the price and I was like, never mind.
What's first, second, third?
I had a customer from Nebraska that came in, and he's like, "You said you like whiskey. Here."
Overall, which one did the best to the last?
Is anyone
A bottle or a sample?
He's adding them up. He's
Anyone
just one
not
number.
big-
Will, was it a bottle or a sample?
It was a whole bottle.
Wow, I want to come work with you then.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I then had some friends over, and I think about half the bottle got mixed with Coke.
That's funny. I was just having a conversation with a fellow coworker at another office, and he went and actually bought a bottle of he asked me if you ever heard of Calumet. And I'm like, well, yeah, I've got the 8-year, the 10-year, and the small batch. And he goes, well, I pulled the trigger and I bought the 15-year. I'm like, oh my Lord, my wife would kill me if I spent $100+ on a bottle of bourbon. But I said, I just can't. I can't buy, I'm like $50-$70. That's like my wheelhouse, especially with not tasting it. I've got some things that on unicorns I want to find, but I'm like, there's no way. I'm not gonna spend $100 for a bottle of bourbon, and then if I don't like it, use it as a mixer. Oh man, that's brutal.
Almost. They're getting
Do I still have water? I do not. Damn it.
That's what I just refilled as my water glass.
We go see if I got something in the fridge. I'll be right back.
You guys all see that another bottle lottery is coming out on Monday?
Yeah.
Wait, what's
Yes, another chance to be let down and tell me I don't win anything. That's great. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
Going though.
Oh, another lottery I can't enter.
My buddy, who I got in this our whiskey society as well. The first time he entered, he won a bottle of single barrel E.H. Taylor, and I think it was like 2 weeks later, Rite Aid in Napoleon got regular small batch E.H. Taylor, and we made it home. And I was like, oh, I forgot to call Rite Aid on Monday. Like, oh, we'll just stop on our way in. Walked in, they had one bottle of that and one bottle of Buffalo, but haven't seen anything amazing since then.
Was it H. Taylor just the regular?
Yeah, it was just the small batch, but still the fact that it was on the shelf at Rite Aid in Napoleon.
Oh yeah,
like
seeing that on the shelf would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Picking it up so you don't knock it over.
So the next lottery opens on Monday, and they've got birthday bourbon, E.H. Taylor barrel proof. They've got CYPB. They've got Old Fitz 17-year. Yeah, a lot of pretty heavy hitters. So, what's that? All right. So we've got our ranking. I've tallied it up. I think everybody can guess last place, right?
6.
It was 6.
Yeah, 6. So 6 came in last place with 64 points. That was a lot. That was like almost a unanimous last place, except for Landon liked it fairly well, and Mike had it in second place. Wow. So 64 points. Our winner was glass number 3 with 27 points. Now, what's interesting is first and second place is only separated by 1 point. Glass number 4 has 28 points in second place. So I'm going to pull up my key here, and Oh, wow. I am really disappointed now. Mike, I'm gonna have to help you out and get you a small little bottle of this. Glass 6. I'm personally disappointed, but I think I put 6 in last place.
You did.
I put 6 in last place. 6 in last place with 64 points
No way.
is my infinity bottle. This is the curveball that I threw in there. Actually, when I'm just sipping it, I thought this was pretty good. But blind, I guess I didn't like it. But Mike, if you want, 2, 4, 6 ounces of this, whatever, I can pour you some.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Maybe for when this is all over and done with, if everybody's got enough infinity bottles, we do samples out of that.
There we go.
That's
Now,
not a bad idea.
I lost track of exactly what's in it a while ago. But I was keeping track on an app, and then I kind of lost track of it. But yeah, so glass number 6 was my infinity bottle.
Apparently that he doesn't like.
Apparently I don't like it. I thought I did, but well, that's what blinds are for, right?
Mixer.
So, this is very surprising. Okay, so in 5th place, glass number 1 with 53 points. This is very, very surprising. Glass number 1 in 5th place with 53 points is Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. And this is a Merle's Kitchen from Louisville, Kentucky pick.
Which number was that?
So this is 5th. This is glass number 1 in 5th place.
What is the proof on that?
101.
We said 105 to 110 is what you said.
Yeah, I said 105 to 110. So this is a single barrel Wild Turkey 101.
And I'm pretty sure Will.
And then let me see.
Will thought that one was young.
Well, let me see, because this is a pick. So usually they'll get the age or the date on there. Let me see if they give us that.
It was pretty light on the glass.
Yeah.
Okay. The tag gives the barrel number, but it does not give the date.
Get down a little.
Nope, I don't think.
It's definitely the lightest out of all of them. Still looking at my samples here.
Yep, nope. So, yeah, Merle's Kitchen Kentucky Spirit. So 101 proof. Does not give the age. All right, so that was glass number 1. So glass number 5 is in 4th place with 47 points. So glass number 5, actually a pretty decent showing for this.
High rye hot.
4th place, people said it was high rye hot. This is a Heaven's Door single barrel store pick. So, Will, which one did you say was Tennessee?
Hold on. I wrote it down.
What's the
3?
proof?
Oh, 3.
Three.
This is glass 5. So this is Heaven's Door single barrel. It is picked by the Ladies of the South Whiskey Group. It is barrel number 9381. It is 124.86 proof. And it is a Tennessee whiskey. And it is a Calvin Cooperage char number 4 with a medium plus toast barrel.
And apparently Aaron needs a sample of it because he put it in first.
And who put it in first? Oh, Aaron put it in first. Yeah, there you go, Aaron. Yeah, I'll need to get you a sample of this. But yes, this is a Tennessee whiskey, probably George Dickel, especially since it's Heaven's Door. 124.86 proof with a Kelvin barrel. There you go.
Oh, wait. So probably Dickel. Where did Will put it?
Oh, yeah. Where did Will put it?
Oh!
Will, you put this in second place. Will put George Dickel in second place. Oh, wow. All right. Well, that made my night right there.
Will
Okay.
love.
We don't have confirmed that it's Dickel though.
Yeah, it's Dickel. Okay, so in third place, glass number 2 with 32 points. Again, not a bad showing. Glass number 2 and 32 with 32 points is Yellowstone single barrel store pick.
Need a hug?
This is named the Kentucky Hug pick. This is from Branson Liquors. So this is a store pick from Branson Liquors. The name of the pick is Kentucky Hug. It is 109 proof. And this is a 6-year-old Yellowstone. This is a 6-year-old Yellowstone, 109 proof.
Landon, this was your hot stays a while.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that's like Yellowstone. So
Yeah, it's your Kentucky Hug pick.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is getting very interesting, folks. Down to the last two. In second place with 28 points is glass number 4. Glass number 4, second place, 28 points, only 1 point difference, is Pinhook Vertical Series 7-year.
I was waiting for
7-year
Pinhook.
We know Landon loves this. Where did Landon put this?
Second place.
Second
Yep.
place, yeah.
So
So
the reason I put it in second is because of what Brody said. The finish. That's the only reason
Yeah.
why. So yeah.
So this is part of the vertical series. It is 7-year age stated. This is MGP. Yeah, distilled in Lawrenceburg, India. So Pinhook does source from MGP. So it's 7 years. This is a Gary's Hops and Schnapps store pick from Indiana. We picked this up in Indiana. And it is 116.9 proof.
I said it was a hitter.
Unfiltered 7-year-old MGP Pinhook.
I'm so happy right now to see Pinhook score well.
Yep. And this actually is very shocking to me. We've had this bottle in our whiskey room, gosh, probably for close to 10 months. Hadn't opened it yet. Opened it for this. It is our winner by a slim margin of only 1 point. Glass number 3 with 27 points. Our winner. We got this. I think we got this in Florida. We picked this up in Florida, but I've seen it at Party Source. Tumbling Dice.
What?
Tumbling Dice single barrel store pick. So this is from Proof and Wood Distillery. It is picked by Mash Billionaire was the group. This was a store pick for a group. It is a 5-year-old 115 proof, and I believe this is MGP also. Yeah, so that they Tumbling Dice sources from MGP as well. So when Chris said he thought 2 of these were from the same distillery, the Pinhook and the Tumbling Dice are both MGP. This is 115 proof, 5-year-old single barrel. Actually, this is a 6-year-old. If I'm doing my math, nope, it's a 5-year-old. Yep, 5-year-old. This is the 36% rye mash bill from MGP. And yeah, there's your winner. 5-year-old MGP single barrel.
That's crazy.
So this is kind of like our bottled and bond night, I think it was, when Early Times knocked off like E.H. Taylor and what was the other big one? There were 2 big ones that it knocked off.
Oh gosh, what was the other one?
I think E.H. Taylor came in like 5th, I think.
Oh, I think E.H. Taylor was last, yeah. So but not bad. You had 2 MGPs knocking off Yellowstone and a Kentucky Spirit single barrel and a Merle's Kitchen pick, which Merle's Kitchen is known for a lot of good picks. So, what'd you think? Any surprises in there?
Your infinity ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find tumbling dice somewhere.
Heaven's
So,
Door.
They're all.
So I don't know if Liquor Cabinet has it, but I do know that if you're ever heading south on 75, Party Source usually has a couple different tumbling dice.
You can get that at Gaze in Indiana as well.
Oh yeah, Indiana. Yep,
Maybe that's
that's a closer drive, 45 minute. No, I'm pretty sure we got this one in Florida. So did anybody think any of these drank to you like a special bottle, right? Because it's so difficult to get limited edition stuff. It's super expensive. Did any of these come across when you were taking your notes, doing your tasting? It's like, yeah, wow, that's something good. That's something special.
Yeah, number 6.
Number 6.
Apparently, Joe's not supposed to make an infinity bottle.
Yeah. Well, when I'm just downstairs sipping it, it tastes all right.
Oh, Joe, it's good.
Hey, Mike likes it.
I didn't hate any of these.
Now I like it even more now. I really like number 2, and that's what I picked for my first. I really thought that it was the Woodford Double Oak store pick from Flicks, and it was not. It was the Yellowstone single barrel.
Yeah.
And that's right. And that was really, I thought it was really good. So
Did you say peanuts on it though?
not on that one. I put oak, pecan, cherry, oak, lingering oak.
Mhm.
No, I had peanuts on 3, 4, and 6.
Oh, interesting. Wow, the 2 MGPs in my
The
blend.
MGP is bringing me the peanuts. Not a big
Yeah.
shot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was very impressed with both of these. These 2 MGPs came across drinking with just a really great mouthfeel, good viscosity, deep flavor, good finish. Everything that I'm looking for when I want a really good pour. So yeah, I was pretty happy with it. So it just goes to show, even though you don't have those, 8, 9, 10, 14-year MGP picks out there anymore, a good 5, 6, 7-year-old MGP can be pretty good if you get the right barrel.
Yeah. Grab a couple of pin hooks and Landon, watch out.
Landon's going to be a brand ambassador for Pinhook, I think, pretty soon.
I'm telling you, I think I have 14 bottles of Pinhook. It's ridiculous.
Get a couple.
I'm telling you, they have some really good stuff. Highly recommend.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, what do you think? Any other thoughts or comments from anyone else?
What was the proof on the tumbling dice?
Tumbling dice, 115 proof. Yeah, 57.5% ABV.
So what was number 2?
Number 2. Glass number 2 is the Yellowstone.
That was the one that gets better as you sip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, again, everybody, thanks a lot for joining us. I hope you really enjoyed this. Hope you had a good time. Look forward to seeing you at our upcoming events. We've got our last scheduled blind flight night next weekend, which we're going to be streaming also. So if you're not in that one and you want to watch along while you're sipping on something, I'll post the YouTube link just like I did tonight. And we've got our Christmas party coming up. We've got the Found North live tasting. So if you're not in that already and you would like to get into that, go ahead and respond to the post and message me. Other than that, thanks a lot for joining us tonight, and I hope everyone has a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you as always.
And
Yes, thank
Will, start a fire and stay warm, buddy.
Yeah.
There's already a fire over there, and I'm hoping very soon that it will be. I heard a truck going down the street. I'm hoping that's AEP.
All right. Awesome. Well, everybody have a great night.
All right, we'll see you next weekend.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
See ya.